at 18, I started something called travel hacking. And that's basically leveraging credit card points and rewards and statuses, everything that credit cards offer to go and get free flights, free hotels. And I got into this because I took a first trip to Thailand by myself at 18, spent all the money I had, it was 3,000 bucks in my bank. But I'm like, man, I'm going out to college. I got to go do a trip. So I spent all this money. I came back and I'm like, man, I got to go do this again. And I got a little envelope in the mail from American Express. They said, if you go in and spend $5,000, we'll give you $100,000 or 100,000 points. I went to go buy my friend a laptop. He paid me back. I got the points. I did the same exact trip again, except now I'm not paying for the flight. I'm not paying for the hotel. I paid, I don't know, whatever it costs for food in Thailand on the street, which is pennies.
Yeah.
And I came back. I'm like, man, I barely spent any money. There's got to be a way to keep doing this. And I was going to college at the time, but during the time that I didn't have any exams, I would literally go spend every single week once I got kind of into the advanced level of travel hacking. I was traveling just about every single week, coming
Wow.
back just to pass my classes. I was going to Berkeley and San Francisco State. I got 2 degrees. I passed. I didn't learn anything from there. Absolutely not.
Shout out to Berkeley.
Shout out to Berkeley. Exactly. And I did this for 3, 4 years until I decided, hey, look, I'm traveling for free. I have a taste of, what freedom really feels like.
Mm.
I was literally going to Dubai on a first class flight that was $22,000 or $23,000. I was paying a couple $100.
Wow.
But I had no money. I had absolutely no money. People were thinking, man, this guy's like a son of a billionaire or something like that. Little do they know, I had maybe like a couple $100 in the bank.
Like a
That's it.
Russian billionaire too with that last name, bro.
Exactly. And at
Crazy.
22, 23, I decided I wanted to go start a business because even though I had 2 degrees and I tried to go get a job because I had no money, I'm like, I got to get some sort of an income. I'm traveling for free, but I don't have any money. You can barely pay for rent. And I couldn't even get approved. I couldn't even get a job. I applied for 100 different places in San Francisco thinking, hey, I got 2 degrees. Not a single person even got back to me. So
Wow.
I decided, I know, right? I'm like, that was my realization that school education is not going to really get you anywhere. And so I decided this was my chance to go all in on entrepreneurship. But I had no skills really besides my education, which means I have no skills anyways.
Yeah.
And 2, I had no money coming in. And 3, I had a bunch of credit cards. These credit cards had a bunch of credit limits. And I decided, hey, look, I'm going to use these to go and start businesses, which was a terrible idea because I didn't understand how interest worked. I didn't understand how credit was used on the business side as opposed to on the personal side. I didn't understand how bad you can ruin your financial situation if you did it incorrectly. And I decided to go and do like 5 different things at once. I did Facebook advertising. I did affiliate marketing. I did real estate wholesaling, Amazon FBA. I was trying to do all these things at once to hopefully have something stick. But I was spending all this money on my credit cards because I was thinking, hey, something's going to stick. I'll spend like a couple of $1,000s and I'm going to become profitable with one of these businesses because how could I not? I had an
Yeah.
ego like this. I had my skills like you can't even
You
see
got
on the
those 2
screen.
degrees, bro. Unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I got these 2 degrees. I'm smart as shit. I'm flying first class to Dubai. I'll be a millionaire before you know it. 6
Yeah.
months in, I'm in $82,000 worth of credit card debt. I'm paying the
I'm
banks.
laughing at the process, not the situation. Well, maybe a little
Yeah,
bit of the situation.
situation that was funny looking back at it, but it was very sad in the moment because I
Yeah.
had no idea where I was going to go. I had no job and applying for 100 different places, being denied or not approved for any single one, put me in a place where I'm like, I can't go get a job. My businesses are failing. Like, what do I do? What do I do here? I'm like traveling, whatever, but it's not fun anymore because I know my situation back in the US is absolute trash.
Yeah.
And that's what got me to start learning credit, understanding how it worked, understanding how to start avoiding the interest, uh, fixing my credit. My credit was at a 490. And I finally
Dude,
landed a
how
sales
the
job
hell do you get 82 grand worth of credit to begin with? Like with no
because
job.
because income is not a requirement for you to go and get credit. Sequencing is a requirement for you to get a lot of credit without proving income. If you can prove income, that's a huge benefit to being able to acquire a lot of credit.
Hmm.
But the first thing I learned when I was doing travel hacking is, how do I go and apply for 8 different credit cards and get all of them approved in one day? That takes building a decent foundation, then understanding internal bank rules, knowing that, hey, Chase will approve me for 2 cards, but if I have 5 or more in the last 24 months, they're not going to approve me. While Amex,
Yeah.
I can get this many cards. So it's sequencing. I can go and get 6 figures in credit in one day in one application at this point. And something I did earlier on. This is why I had so much available credit and so many credit cards
Yeah.
when I started these businesses. So a little bit of a fast forward into the story. I was travel hacking, then I got into debt because I tried to use credit for business. I had no idea how to use it. Um, I didn't have any skills for a business. I ended up in debt, and that forced me to go and learn how credit works in terms of business. That forced me to go and get a sales job that I don't know how I landed. Probably because the guys were Russian. We connected somehow. I did my presentation in
Nice.
Russian instead of English, and there were
You
like
speak
100
Russian?
people. I speak fluent Russian. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
That's amazing,
yeah.
man.
I got family in Russia. I go back here and there. And 6 months later, I got income coming in. I'm using that sales job to perfect my sales skills. And this was such an important piece in my journey because without the skills that I got from my sales job, without me focusing on how do these people run the business that I'm working for
Hmm.
to later use in my business. And I wasn't focused on the income that came. I was focused on being the best salesperson that I could possibly be. And that is so important because the skills I learned there, I use in all my content right now. I spent $0 in my entire journey of like being an online entrepreneur. I spent $0. Everything I've done was organic content. I've done 7 figures in organic content from TikTok.
Crazy.
That's
I
amazing,
made
dude.
$60,000 from one TikTok video.